Text that again. Tell them boys to give me 150 M's. I'm coming. You know what I mean? When I start streaming out that, and that, stop it. Knock it off, cuz. Stop it. Tell them to send that bag, and I'm coming. And I'm, you know.
Gervonta Tank Davis initially stated he can't fight YouTube sensation turned professional boxer Jake Paul, who is 12 wins, 1 loss, no draws, 7 wins by way of knockout, until he reached the status of Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, and Canelo Alvarez.
I think it's great for boxing. I think like boxing right now is like on top, you know what I'm saying, of the sport, bro. You know, one thing is boxing will never die, bro. Like everybody wants to see that kind of combat.
Gervonta Davis shared his first thoughts on the Jake Paul fight, making it clear he isn't impressed. Davis confidently stated that Jake can't compete with him, dismissing the YouTuber turned boxer as nothing more than an Instagram fighter. He added that Jake is out of shape and lacks both the skills and the experience to present a real challenge, leaving no doubt about how little respect he has for Jake's chances.
To me, like, I don't think that would even be like fair.
No, I think that he's you know how he got fat? He's a Instagram boxer.
Yeah, he's a good-looking guy. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to leave my girl
I wouldn't
around
say
and
that.
shit, but like, I don't know
No, he
about
would
when it comes to
definitely fuck my
boxing.
girl.
Like,
It wouldn't be fun. He's a
no,
really good looking.
I wouldn't want to leave.
No, he
like,
would. It's not
you
fair.
know, I'd probably be a little worried, to be honest. But
With Ryan?
when it comes to boxing,
Ryan
it's
looks like a Greek
Tank,
goddess.
Tank would fucking toss him down.
No, he
Yeah.
does. He's a good looking dude. You're right. I would be afraid to
Yeah.
leave my girl around him.
And he is dope to watch in like the Instagram videos and shit too. Like he has fast hands and shit. He's obviously a good boxer, but what about when it comes to like this level? It wouldn't even be fair.
He can't compete with me. People in the gym will tell you like I've already.
Gervonta Davis has always spoken bluntly about opponents, and Jake Paul has often been a target. In past interviews, Davis brushed off the idea of fighting Jake, insisting he would only consider such a matchup if Jake reached the level of legends like Mike Tyson, Manny Pacquiao, or Canelo Alvarez. By setting that bar, Davis highlighted that boxing is about legacy, respect, and achievements built through years in the ring, not quick fame or social media popularity. Yet now, with the fight officially confirmed, the tone has shifted. Many fans have pointed out the contrast between Davis's past refusal and his current acceptance. Critics argue that while he once placed legacy above all else, the lure of a massive payday may have influenced his decision. To them, Davis went from dismissing Jake as irrelevant to seizing the chance once the money was on the table, sparking debate over whether he's honoring his legacy or cashing in on spectacle.
Gervonta Tank Davis initially stated he can't fight YouTube sensation turned professional boxer Jake Paul, who is 12 wins, 1 loss, no draws, 7 wins by way of knockout, until he reached the status of Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, and Canelo Alvarez. And now yesterday, we have gotten an announcement that November 14th in Atlanta, Georgia, Gervonta Tank Davis, instead of fighting the highly anticipated rematch with WBA super featherweight, now lightweight star title contender, whom they fought March 1st to a controversial draw, and that being Lamont Rose Jr., who is 25 wins, 1 loss, 2 draws, 10 wins by way of knockout. Gervonta Tank Davis is instead going to fight Jake Paul. So now he views himself on the level of Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, and Canelo Alvarez. He feels like he has achieved what he set out to achieve to reach that level. And/or he just seen the money flashing and decided that's the right direction to go in, because he clearly has not reached that level. He said that he had to do things in the sport of boxing still and fight his peers. He's only fought one guy.
Davis initially said he wouldn't fight Jake Paul, who currently holds a record of 12 wins, 1 loss, and 7 knockouts, unless Jake reached the status of icons like Mayweather, Pacquiao, and Canelo. But yesterday, the official announcement came. On November 14th in Atlanta, Georgia, Davis will face Jake Paul. Instead of pursuing the highly anticipated rematch with Lamont Roach Jr., who boasts a record of 25 wins, 1 loss, 2 draws, and 10 knockouts, Davis has chosen Jake. Some believe Davis now sees himself on the level of Mayweather, Pacquiao, and Canelo, while others argue he simply followed the money. Davis himself admitted he still has unfinished business in boxing, yet this choice suggests a shift in priorities. Meanwhile, Shakur Stevenson weighed in, acknowledging that Jake may bring a size advantage but firmly stating it won't matter. Stevenson explained that boxing isn't decided by size, it's won with skill, speed, and intelligence. He believes Davis has all of these in abundance, making him the clear favorite. According to Stevenson, Jake's physical edge won't overcome Davis's explosiveness, accuracy, and fight-ending power.
His last fight when he fought Lamont, Jake Paul was at the fight. He told y'all he was going to fight somebody like Jake Paul. So I'm not shocked. It don't surprise me. So,
you know, Shakur, Jake, when he fought Mike Tyson, he was 227 pounds. He was 199 and like 199 point something his last fight against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. He hasn't been only boxing for a couple of years. He's 12-1. Tank Davis obviously been boxing his whole life. He's 30-0-1. He's knocked everybody out except for 3 opponents in his life. But at what point does size matter so much, though, where it can't be overcome, Shakur? And is it in this case here when you've got what is like a 70-pound difference between these two guys?
I mean, size will play some part of the fight. But, if I'm thinking like I'm Tank, I'm probably just going to go out there and try to outbox him and use my knowledge and IQ against him. So, I can see Tank just outboxing him and making it real easy.
Is there any way any realistic or legitimate way in your mind you could see Jake Paul winning a fight against Tank?
No.
No way.
Nope.
Not a lot of people have talked about Jake and say he's got good power. Not even, and I get anything could technically happen, but you don't even see a realistic shot where he could land one big punch and Tank being so much smaller, he just can't handle the power.
Nah, not at all. I think Tank is, he's been boxing his whole life. He's been boxing since a kid, so I doubt like that's going to be an issue or problem. I think Jake is good for where he's at, but I think it's just levels.
British heavyweight Dave Allen voiced his disappointment about the Davis-Paul matchup, calling it just another unnecessary exhibition-style event. Allen argued that boxing should prioritize competitive, meaningful matchups over spectacle-driven contests. In his view, Davis has already built a strong career and should either focus on elite-level fights or consider retirement. Fighting Jake, he said, only lowers Davis's career value. Allen criticized the trend of exhibition fights with social media stars, claiming they prioritize money and entertainment over the true spirit of boxing. For him, the best way to honor Davis's career is to see him in real matchups, not a sideshow against Jake Paul.
He's training this fight, but fighting against real bears. This is true. People are going, no chance, no chance. Do you reckon this guy, could he be the toughest of your opponents so far, do you reckon?
I don't think he's the best that I've faced. I've faced a few Olympic medalists, a few world title challengers, but I think he's probably the most dangerous. Maybe not the best boxer, he might not be the most technical, but he hits really hard, he's really big and strong, so yeah, I think it's the most dangerous task I've faced, but he may be not the best fighter I've been in with.
Whereabouts is the fight, Dave? Where are you fighting him?
He's still at Sheffield Arena,
right.
Headlining in Sheffield, which is like my local arena. So yeah, it's a big night for me.
He won his last fight, didn't he, Dave, against Ricardo Brown, and 20 wins, 19 KOs he's got. So like you says, he is dangerous. How's the training gone for you ahead of this fight?
Yeah, it's been good. It's put a bit of fear in me, to be honest. I've had a bit of genuine fear. I've been stopped, but I've never been on the canvas ever as a pro or amateur. So, and I'd like to keep it that way, really. Yeah. I'm not on anyone's highlight reel. You see highlight reels of all the fighters I face. I'm not on any of them, and I'd like to keep it that way. So yeah, training has gone up a notch. For the Fisher rematch, I did weigh a little bit heavy. So for this one, if I cut any corners, there's a good chance I'll get beat in bad fashion. So it has really picked me up a little bit. I've been training a tiny bit harder. I've been eating a whole lot better than resting, and I think I'm looking at a career best performance.
Good man. Let's move on top of this big news of the day. Cruiserweight Jake Paul and WBA lightweight world champion Gervonta Davis will step in the ring together in an exhibition in Atlanta November 14. For context, the top weight for cruiserweight sits at 90.7 kilos, while the heaviest a lightweight can be is 61.2. Dave, this is surely I know it's an exhibition, but this is a mismatch, surely. It's ridiculous.
I'm not a fan of exhibitions as it is. I think if we're doing exhibitions, if there have to be a thing, it'll be a thing for retired fighters.
On Ariel Helwani's show, analysts broke down the Davis vs. Paul fight, agreeing that while the matchup generates headlines, it lacks the weight of a true competitive contest. Some compared it to Mike Tyson's exhibition bout, where entertainment mattered more than proving anything in the ring. They highlighted the obvious mismatch. Jake's much larger natural frame puts Davis at a size disadvantage. However, they acknowledged Davis's speed, ring IQ, and skill could still shine even against the bigger man. Still, they stressed that the weight difference changes the nature of the fight entirely, making it more about spectacle than a true test of who's better. Their message was clear: don't mistake this for an even matchup, but understand it's designed for entertainment, buzz, and massive attention.
And by the way, like, I feel like this was similar to as I alluded to earlier, the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight had similar kind of question marks around it. Like, is this going to be an exhibition or is this going to be an official fight? And you kind of go through the motions and go through the process of this. So I imagine that Jake Paul, Nikisa Badarian, and MVP are going through the process of trying to get this to be an official fight. And if not, they can still do this as an exhibition, no problem. What weight class they meet at is going to be very fascinating, right? Like, is Jake Paul going to try to get down lower in weight to make it more fair?
Can they meet at a weight class, or they just agree on what they're willing to fight at?
Even if they meet at a weight class, let's just do the math, right? Even if they met at, I don't know, 190? No, I don't think Jake Paul can get that
up to 190.
I don't think Jake Paul can get down to that.
Thus, why I think it'll be an exhibition.
No, Gervonta can get up to, okay, there's in MMA, for certain weight classes, you must be a minimum weight, right? You can't be within X percentage difference of your opponent. Yeah. There are some jurisdictions where I don't believe that is accurate, where that is true. I'm curious if Atlanta is one of them. We should try to look into that if we can. Maybe Jordan can look into that. If there's a weight minimum that you have to meet. Otherwise, if they agreed to a catch weight of, let's say, 100, what's the lowest Jake Paul's ever fought at?
I don't know. 185 for the Nate Diaz fight?
I have to think that's the smallest, right? Here, we're going to do...
Okay, let's say, like, you can get down to 180.
Unfortunately, Tapology doesn't have the weight on here.
Yeah, I mean, let's just say he can get down to one of those weights. Let's just say, hypothetically, 185. Is Gervonta Davis getting up to that?
He will not get up to that, but he can get within 20 pounds of it, maybe? Yeah, maybe.
I mean, do you think it's a strategic move for them to put it in Atlanta?
Former super middleweight champion Carl Froch didn't hold back when asked about the fight. He outright called it an absolute joke. Known for his blunt honesty, Froch said matchups like this damage boxing's integrity. He argued that Davis should focus on genuine challenges within his division, while Jake Paul's boxing career should stay separate from elite-level fighters. His sharp criticism reflects the frustration of many purists who believe spectacle fights overshadow true competition between world-class athletes.
Just here at Los Naranjos in Viva, España, and I found out that Gervonta Davis is now fighting Jake Paul. So Jake Paul was supposed to be fighting AJ. Eddie Hearn announced 99% done, which we just spoke about. What next for AJ? Potentially Jake Paul. But it now looks like that Jake Paul is fighting one of Anthony Joshua's legs. He's fighting Gervonta Davis, somebody who's a quarter of his size. I don't even know what's going on. Has Eddie Hearn been played? Let me know what you think, but the AJ fight with Jake Paul's finished. Gervonta Davis, fake Paul, November. I don't know what's going on in the world of boxing. This is an absolute joke. What next for AJ? We'll get into this, and there's so many questions I want to get into in the next episode, but I hope you enjoyed this one. And yeah, just thought I'd give you a quick update because the news has just come in. I'm just trying to relax and play a bit of golf. I can't. I've got to get it off my chest. I'm going to add it to this video. Hope you enjoy it. Don't forget, if you haven't already, hit like, share and subscribe for the best channel in the business, Froch on Fighting, and we'll see you very soon.
Veteran fighter Gabe Rosado, however, offered a very different take. While critics have attacked the matchup, Rosado pointed out a unique upside, the undercard. He revealed that the entire Davis-Paul undercard would feature women's fights, making it a groundbreaking event for female boxing. For Rosado, this is what makes the card special. It puts a global spotlight on women's boxing through a huge stage like Netflix. While the main event may lack competitiveness, millions tuning in for the spectacle will also witness women's boxing at the highest level. To him, this could inspire growth, investment, and respect for the women's side of the sport. In Rosado's eyes, this silver lining shows that even unusual fights can bring meaningful positives.
Man, I think it's great for boxing. I think like boxing right now is like on top, you know what I'm saying, of the sport, bro. You know, one thing is boxing will never die, bro. Like everybody wants to see that kind of combat, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's great for the sport, you know, and the thing is that the Netflix, the production factor behind it is legit, you know what I'm saying? And the cards are actually good fights. The only one that was, a bit of a dud was was watching old Mike Tyson back, man. But I love Mike, you know, but he wasn't his usual self. But other than that, man, they've been great events.
What do you think about Tank and Jake Paul?
You know, man, I don't know if that's actually real. You know what I'm saying? Could it be just publicity? Could it be just, you know, I don't know. I don't know if that's legit, man. You know,
I mean, Jake just posted it up too.
Yeah.
Not tanking. Not tanking.
Yeah, that's part of the biz, man. It's just, look, man, one thing that I learned being around Jake, you know what I'm saying, is
post early.
Huh?
What's up? Posting a little early.
No. It's just like he just gets people talking. You know what I'm saying? And he keeps his name, you know, on the top of the subject. You know what I'm saying? So, it's marketing, bro. It's
Promoter Eddie Hearn added intrigue by suggesting that a Davis versus Shakur Stevenson fight could follow the Jake Paul bout. He explained that such a sequence makes sense both financially and competitively. The Jake fight would generate mainstream revenue and attention, while Davis-Stevenson would deliver the kind of high-level matchup purists want. Hearn stressed that Stevenson has the talent, discipline, and skill to challenge Davis, and that a clash between the two would carry massive significance for the lightweight division.
I will have to come up with something for Shakur Stevenson. If I don't, that may be the end. It's got to work for me as well as Shakur. Maybe I haven't got anything for him. Maybe he hasn't got anything for me. But right now I know what we agreed with His Excellency, and that's what we'll do for now, and then see where we go.
I know you said you wanted to make that Tank fight, so hopefully we can see that in the future, Eddie.
Jake Paul, isn't he? So he's got. I don't know whether he'll fight. What's the rematch?
Lamont Roach.
I don't know if he'll still fight Lamont Roach. I know he's fighting Jake Paul in November, and then maybe Shakur after that.
Thank you, Eddie. Thanks.
Public reaction to the fight has been split. Some fans are excited by the entertainment factor, while others are openly frustrated. One of the most vocal critics has been Lamont Roach, who accused Davis of ducking him by skipping their anticipated rematch to fight Jake Paul instead. Roach argued that true contenders who have earned their place are being pushed aside, while non-traditional fighters like Jake are handed the spotlight. For Roach and many within the boxing community, the sport should honor hard work, skill, and legacy, not just popularity and spectacle.
Received a whole lot of backlash from the boxing community, with many saying that in a way they felt somewhat betrayed and very, very disappointed. Lamont Roach reacted to this news by calling Gervonta Davis a duck, while Ryan Garcia said that the WWE influence has officially spilled over the boxing industry. Now, going through multiple boxing forums, Tank's fanbase, who normally are very active in regards to defending Gervonta Davis, have been noticeably silent. This glorified glorified sparring session is expected to make a lot of buzz, and even though it may be for all the wrong reasons, well folks, just like Tyson versus Paul, this too is expected to make a lot of money for both contestants. Critics online have pointed out that Tank Davis, who's been very vocal about wanting to retire for quite some time now, could be doing just that with one last big payday in exchange for honor, pride, and of course...
That wraps up today's video. Stay tuned for more updates. Until next time.